Hey Patreons, welcome back to another Hey Jay Offstream, this time the August 2025. I am trying to do these monthly. I missed last month again, I'm sorry about that. Where I like to keep you all updated on three major things in my life, and that is my gaming life off stream, my workout journey, and finally my business journey, which are the kind of three dominant things taking over my life. I'll start off with the gaming one, specifically my impressions with the Nintendo Switch 2, which has been the biggest impact of my gaming life over the last few months. And for those who are not on Patreon, I always I started releasing these off streams on YouTube so that you can all kind of get a sense of what I'm playing off stream. If you want the full video that includes the business side and my personal health side of stuff of this video, just head over to Patreon. It's $1 a month and you get to see, be in the know of my business life as well as my workouts. And that's really all you get. You get also access to an exclusive Patreon chat over on Discord and all of the uncut Hey Jay journals as I manage to upload them very slowly to that platform. So if you don't want all of the funny edits and you just want me with no cuts, that's what you can find on Patreon as well. So let's talk about my first impressions of the Nintendo Switch 2. This is a console I was actually really not excited for, or I had no excitement for it. I thought the price was too high, and I thought that the ROI wasn't there. I saw no reason to pick this up at launch. I'm not that big a fan of Mario Kart, especially not at the price point it's at. Mario Kart is a fun game. It's just not a game like I'll play all the races. I'll dabble with it when friends are over, but outside of that, I just don't get much reason to play the game or to revisit it over and over. The open world aspect of Mario Kart had a lot of appeal to me. I thought that this would be the version of the game, an edition of the game that could pull me in longer, but unfortunately that's not the case. I'm actually not enjoying the open world aspect as much as I thought I would. And I dabbled in it. I liked that you have hidden tiles you can find, hidden coins, and what's the other thing that you can find in the open world? I thought there was 3 things that you could do in the open world. I like finding the costumes. I like finding the tiles. What I don't like is that there's no real sense of achievement in finding them. There's no progression, like percentage or anything, whether you're getting the peach coins or the little things. All you're pretty much doing is filling in little question marks on your map, which is better than nothing, but I wish it was a little bit more like you have found 50% of all things, or even tying it to rewards. Like right now, I don't really see the point of what's the difference between a peach coin and pretty much a tile on the floor. They're both discoverables that really don't lead to anything. Maybe they are tied. I did look at guides and it looked like there was really no reason to, there was no incentive to do it other than just the fun of doing it. To be fair, that's all a game should be for most sense, but I've just seen so many other games, especially Nintendo games, offer a little reward when you do those things, and I was surprised that there wasn't any of that here. The reason I got a Switch 2 was actually for a marketing activation I needed to do to promote my upcoming event BGLX. I wanted a Switch 2 to pull people into the booth and learn more about the show. So I justified a Switch 2 through a marketing activation. And there was no reason to buy a Switch 2 without getting Mario Kart Tour, so I bought that bundle together. Played it a bit. I liked the initial experience of the races. I liked the surprise you get at the end. I won't spoil it. The single player mode was pretty fun, but that's it. That's really that's not what Mario Kart's about. It's about the multiplayer and having fun with your friends. So now I just need to have friends and have fun with them and find time to have fun with them. But now that I had a Switch 2, and what I was really looking forward to was Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm big into 3D platformers, love Mario Odyssey, and so I was like, okay, this is the game that's gonna make me want to buy a Switch 2. So of course I did it for the marketing, but then I'm like, finally, let's do this. Let's do Donkey Kong Bonanza. And you can kind of see my initial reactions over on my posts on Twitter or X. My first reaction was like, okay, it's good, but it wasn't hooking me in. Like I found myself kind of bored after 30 minutes to an hour. I'm like, is it just punching things? Is that all there is to it? It just felt repetitive, that it's like there was no direction of like, here's the challenge of the platforming part. It was just like, go crazy, punch things, and maybe you'll hit a banana on the way or you hit some fossils. I get that there's the challenge, like little runs that you can do, but it didn't feel integrated in the world. Like they were off to the side, just like Mario Odyssey had those little challenge things off to the side. But it didn't feel like I didn't feel like I wanted to go, oh, what's over there or anything. I could just punch my way to anything, and nothing felt really satisfying. I didn't really care about the villains either, or anything. So I kept playing, and I'm like, well, this is kind of a disappointment. Like, I was really hyped for this game, and I was expecting a lot more soul. I saw someone say it lacks soul, and that's what I really resonated with that. But big asterisk and big but, towards the end of the game, and again, I won't get into spoilers, the game gets a lot better towards the end. There's a plot twist that happens, which gives the game a lot more soul. And then there's a little bit more linearity in the direction of the game, where it's like, now you got to get through these. It feels more 3D platforming than just go punch anything you want. And so it feels like the game design has more intent at that point. And so all of that really made my appreciation for the game go up a lot more, and my enjoyment of it go up a lot more. I went from actually going from like, oh, I got bored after 30 minutes to an hour, to I can't put the game down, which is what I wanted from the game. Unfortunately, it only happens towards the end. And I got stuck on the final boss. I could not beat it. And again, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm talking very like cryptically around this part of the game. I only tried once, but it was like my stamina was low at this point, and I'm like, I don't want to try this again. This feels like BS, which, you know, it's like a Dark Souls boss typical feeling. But I watched my son beat it, and it's funny because he had the same reaction to me, where at the end he just was getting engrossed into the game and getting all these emotional moments. And then he almost gave up at the same point as I did, because he was feeling the same thing. He's like, this is just ridiculous. But it's because I taunted him, and I said, I bet you're not going to complete the game when you reach the same part as I did. And I could see him. He hit that part. He stood up. He's like, how the heck are you supposed to do this? And I could see he was like ready to give up, but he's like, no, I don't want to like give up because you said I would. And so he doubled down. He grinded this boss, defeated the boss, so that's how I got to see the ending of the game. And I saw a little bit of the post-end game, and I'm like, okay, this seems more like what I would want to do. So yeah, my impression of Donkey Kong Bonanza was like very lukewarm initial reaction to, you know, people call this a masterpiece. I argue it's not, but I would argue that the end of the game kind of changes the perception. So if most reviewers are reviewing the game off of the high that the end of the game gives you, then I could definitely see some bias in the score. But I mean, the score is ultimately what people think of the game. It's not about you're right, I'm wrong. It's about, this is how much enjoyment I get out of the game, and this is how much enjoyment you get out of the game. So it could be a 10 out of 10 for you. It could be a 5 out of 10 for me. But for me personally, it's like a good to great game. It's like a solid 8 is what I've been saying. But it's a game that's hard for me to recommend to like someone who likes Mario 3D platformers, because I just don't feel like that's the experience you're gonna get going into this. It's a lot different. So yeah, I've been having fun with that. And in fact, I actually got so bored with Donkey Kong in the early parts. You know, I was sitting there with my Switch 2. I wanted to game. I was at a cottage trip. I don't want to play Donkey Kong. I don't want to play Mario Kart. What the heck am I supposed to do? And I remembered that I had a Nintendo voucher that I bought a year ago. So I'm like, oh yeah, I got to use that other one. And it was expiring in 2 weeks. I'm like, I might as well pick up like a Switch 1 game on here. And I was looking through, and there was quite a few games that stood out. I'm like, how come I haven't picked these up yet? And one was The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which I remember I was not hyped for this game at all. It was the first time I saw a Zelda game. I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing. Like, I respect it, but I don't think it's for me. Like, it doesn't seem to have the elements of a Zelda game that I want. I like the overhead, but I actually never finished the Link's Awakening remaster because the style didn't really do it for me, and performance issues and stuff. But I'm like, well, Switch 2, there shouldn't be any performance issues, whatever they do with this. So I took a chance on Zelda, and I actually really, really was enjoying my time with that game. Right now, I think I'm getting into the final part of the game. I'm just going around doing side quests and collecting things. But I thought I would hate the list management and the menu management, because I know it's a lot of like saving echoes to your inventory and using echoes. But it feels about as good as switching weapons in Breath of the Wild. And it uses an almost similar mechanic, so it wasn't as big of a problem as I thought it would be. The game is charming. I love the collecting aspect of finding echoes and just kind of figuring things out and finding like the hard pieces, all that. I'm so glad they brought that back. But again, it doesn't feel like a really deep Zelda game compared to other Zelda games. And I'm referring to like the old overhead games from like the Game Boy days, from the Game Boy Advance days, all of the Super Nintendo. It's lacking, again, a little bit of soul compared to those games. It's not a soulless game. It has soul. but it just doesn't feel as deep as the old ones, and there's a little like magic missing here, and I can't put my finger on it. It's not preventing me from enjoying the game, but I'm like, why does it feel like there's something missing? Is it really just because Link's not in the game? I don't know. I've kind of like defaulted to having 3 to 4 echoes I use all the time. Like I've got one of those knights that just spins around that's super OP that I got in a cave, and I just use that to destroy everything. And I keep using this stupid yellow platform to get everywhere. It has like an eye and it lifts you up. It lets me pretty much overcome all verticality challenges in that game. So yeah, I just find myself using the same echoes, and the puzzle challenging are feeling kind of repetitive to some extent, and I feel I'm getting close to the end of the game, and I'm like, okay, the game knows not to I feel it's already explored everything it has to offer. It's like, yeah, let's just wrap it up at this point. I just wish there was more like quirky moments and more memorable moments in the game. I feel they could have done a lot more with the people and the characters, the NPCs. Like the starting village, I feel had so much potential for charm, but there's no real reason outside of a few subquests to go back. Like, why isn't there a quest where it's like the trading item quest? That's a classic in Zelda games. I don't know if it's in here, but I haven't found it yet. Like, I feel there's those things that are missing that just require a little bit more effort, a little bit more creativity. That's just not there. I feel modern Nintendo is leaning more towards like they find a formula and it's copy pasted, and it worries me because it wasn't like that, and it feels less or more soulless in general with their IPs. And I think those who could speak really to this are the Paper Mario fans, where that's exactly what they were saying. They were like removing all these unique fun elements of the Paper Mario franchise, standardizing characters, removing unique characters, and it looks like they heard the feedback and they've started deviating from that. But I feel that that's what Nintendo's been doing, is they've been distilling all these IPs so that it fits perfectly into all these molds, and you don't want to deviate too much from the molds. But at the same time, they're doing the complete opposite, where they took like Zelda and did Breath of the Wild, which was completely different, or they're taking the Donkey Kong IP and making it completely different. So it's hard to criticize Nintendo, because on the one hand, I'm like, oh, they're playing it safe, and on the other hand, like, they're still creating. Like I can see that they are still creating. I can only speak to what I feel when I play their games, and that's ultimately what I'm feeling here. And then outside of that, there's one other game I've been playing on my Switch too, just a little bit. I got Wild Hearts S, the Monster Hunter alternative. I did not have a great experience when I played it on my PC originally because of performance issues. Here I played a stream's worth. You can catch it on twitch.tv/HeyJOfficial, and the performance issues were gone. I was playing on a smaller screen just because of the way my stream setup was for the Switch 2. And that's pretty much my only complaint, was I was just having some troubles like seeing things, remembering how to control everything. But outside of that, those are like me issues. Those are not game issues. And the game plays very well. I like recommending it to anyone who enjoys Monster Hunter. I feel there's a lot of unique and new ideas offered in Wild Hearts S, and if it's something that you're looking for some fresh ideas, like, you're not going to get the Monster Hunter experience. Like, don't go into it thinking this is another Monster Hunter experience. It's completely different, but I'm saying, like, hey, if you like chocolate cake, maybe you'll like chocolate ice cream or something like that. I don't know if that's the best analogy, but... And then over on Steam, I've been dabbling in some other games, just trying to get, like, mindless games. I bought Dynasty Warriors 7 for, like, $5. It's the first time I buy a Dynasty Warriors game, actually. I love Hyrule Warriors, and I love the warrior genre, and so I'm like, I should go see what the original source material's about. And so I got Dynasty Warriors 7. It's rough. The combat, the controls, the graphics, it's a lot older and rougher than I was expecting. Like, I was expecting it to be a little smoother like Hyrule Warriors. They weren't there yet with 7. So I think I needed to maybe start at Dynasty Warriors 8 or 9. Well, the new one that came out this year, I think is Dynasty Warrior like 0. That's just too expensive right now. Like, I don't want to spend full price for a Dynasty Warriors. I just want to dabble in the IP to see if it was for me. So right now, it's not quite giving me what I want. I want a little bit smoother experience for the gameplay. Just to enjoy it. I also bought Samurai Warriors like a year ago. That one had more smoothness. Just the story, I don't know, it hasn't captivated me fully the way I wanted it to. It's hard to recreate that Hyrule Warriors craving that I have, like the satisfaction of that. Even Age of Calamity doesn't satisfy it the same way. I just feel Hyrule Warriors was the right level of nostalgia, gameplay, and like reward mechanic that just came together so perfectly, and it's really hard to find a replacement to that. I've also been dabbling, like, I've been looking for more kind of like cheerier games, and I got Dragon Quest XI, which has been on my wish list for years. I've only played like an hour so far. I made it to the main capital, and it's again not hooking me because I've played old Dragon Quest games, and it's funny because this JRPG has not really evolved the way other JRPGs has evolved. It's maintained intentionally a lot of its retro roots, from the sounds to showing you how your stats are improving. It almost feels a little bit too retro for where I want to be, for what I want to be playing. I like the vibrant scene, but I just feel like, you see the enemy on the field, you get into it, it's like, oh, Slime wants to fight, and then like you pick your attack, and it's like, he attacks, you attack. It's nostalgic, but it's not what I want to play right now. I just wish it was a little bit faster, and I respect Dragon Quest for doing what it does. I think it serves a niche that it serves very well. Just for what I was looking at, I think I probably should have went back to my Nier game to get something just a little bit more fluid. But then Nier's too dark. I wanted like something like Nier, but that was brighter, because I really like that bright fantasy setting of Dragon Quest. My kind of gaming goals right now Offstream is really, I want to finish Zelda, so I'll probably finish that on my trip or something. I want to properly finish Donkey Kong. I don't know if I'll 100% it. I'd already 100%ed the first world. It was pretty fun. I just turned my brain off and I was just punching things and finding things. I think the game does a great job at giving you the tools you need to 100% it without needing a guide, which I love that. And then what's coming up? There's nothing on my radar that is immediate. Like Silk Song's coming up. I want to play that. I'm going to be playing it at Gamescom next week, and I hope. And but I don't know if a launch date has been dropped for that. The backlog is still full. There's a lot of things to dabble in. So that's where I'm at in August 2025. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to my rambling. The first part of this video will be over on YouTube. I'm going to shoot it to Raul for some editing, and we'll see what he comes up with. And otherwise, I will see you in the next Patreon update or over in the Discord. Until next time, keep it classy.